Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Arsenal expert admits defender could leave but slams laughable report to transfer fee. Arsenal expert Charles Watts has discussed the future of Jakub Kiwior this summer as he admits he could see him leaving if another defender comes in the form of Riccardo Calafiori. Speaking exclusively to CaughtOffside for his latest daily briefing column, Watts explained that although he could see Kiwior leaving due to how similar he is to Calafiori as a player and the fact that he has interest from both AC Milan and Juventus, he thinks it's laughable that some reports have suggested that the Poland international could be sold for something in the region of just £12.3 million. He said the following: "It does seem like a defender will have to move on should Calafiori arrive, although right now it does seem that the Italian could come in before a departure takes place. The most likely option is that Jakub Kiwior could go. He has a very similar profile to Calafiori, so it's hard to see how they could both be utilized should they be in the squad together. Kiwior is popular at Arsenal, and Mikel Arteta and his coaching staff are very happy with the progress he has made since he signed. He got plenty of minutes last season, and Arteta trusted him enough to play him in a lot of big games, even if that was mainly as a stand and left back. So if he does leave, then Arsenal will want to get a good deal for the 24-year-old. They spent around £20 million to sign him just 18 months ago, and he has improved as a defender since then. I have seen figures such as £12.3 million mentioned, and that quite frankly is laughable. Arsenal are already viewed as poor sellers when it comes to the transfer market, and a deal like that would be a terrible precedent to set in a summer when the club are looking to make good money on a number of departures. Arsenal fans can now forget about Zubimendi. He's made his decision. Last week, Charles Watt stated that Arsenal were still interested in Martin Zubimendi, and I believe we swiftly discussed how he would be a formidable partner for Declan Rice. As we mentioned, the Real Sociedad midfielder's excellent ball winning skills, tackling ability, and ability to intercept play would release Rice from defensive duties and allow him to play as a box-to-box midfielder. Clearly, activating the Spaniard's £50 million release clause would not be an issue. The problem would be convincing the player to leave Real Sociedad to join Arsenal. Well, it appears that the player is adamant about his desire to remain with Real Sociedad. Zubimendi said the following, speaking to El Diario: "Where am I going to play next season? I'm going to be at Real Sociedad. I have a contract with Real Sociedad, and that's where I am most comfortable." I suppose these claims help Arsenal avoid a transfer scandal. Last year, they also expressed interest in him, but he snubbed them. If Arsenal tried to sign him this summer, he would undoubtedly reject them once again. The North Londoners can now simply focus on other targets such as Amadou Onana or Joao Neves, who may be ready to move up Arsenal's wish list. Crystal Palace bracing themselves for bids for England international. According to The Sun, after some excellent individual performances at the European Championship, England ace Mark Wehi is keen to explore his options despite Palace appearing to want to extend his current deal with them. The outlet notes the potential interest of Premier League rivals Arsenal and Man United, with Tottenham and Man City apparently keen to pay the release clause of Guehi's club and country teammate Aberchi is. Losing their three best players in one transfer window surely can't be contemplated by Palace owner Steve Parish. However, the fees that the club could command may well give Glasner the chance to strengthen well in other areas of his squad. For both Glasner and Parish, it will be important to quickly understand how determined Guehi is to move on. Whilst they will almost certainly put a fight to keep him, there is also no value in flogging a dead horse if Guehi is adamant that he sees his future elsewhere, and to that end, we can expect that Palace will want to maximize any profit for Guehi and possibly ease his services. Arsenal keen on potential transfer of midfielder who is outside of their typical recruitment profile. Arsenal are reportedly keen on a potential transfer deal for Real Sociedad midfielder Mikel Merino this summer, even though he is outside of their typical recruitment profile. That's according to The Athletic, who state that Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta is a big fan of Merino's attributes, and one imagines the Gunners will be keen to strengthen in defensive midfield this summer, even if they can't necessarily get a younger player, as they'd often prefer. Marino has impressed in his time in La Liga, and it's also proving influential for the Spanish national team at Euro 2024. So it would be interesting to see if he could make the step up to playing for a major Premier League title contender. The 28-year-old is not entirely without experience in English football, as he had a spell at Newcastle earlier in his career, though it's fair to say he has improved a lot since then, so it's hard to judge him based on his spell at James Park. Arsenal have a pretty young squad, apart from a few exceptions, so it could be that there is room for the North London Giants to be a bit more flexible and bring in someone like Merino, even if he wouldn't be a particularly long term option. The Athletics report also mentions that Thomas Partey could leave the Emirates Stadium this summer, so he would undoubtedly need replacing. Arsenal supporters will have mixed feelings about Partey leaving, as he is proven so effective when he has been available, but his injury problems were a real concern last season, and it could be worth offloading him if they can get Merino. La Liga sensation is Arteta's preference if Arsenal switch transfer focus to attack. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta would reportedly favor a transfer move for Nico Williams this summer if the club end up deciding to move for a new winger. It remains to be seen if the Gunners will prioritize that area, as they currently seem to be focusing more on adding a new defender and defensive midfielder, though it will be interesting to see if that changes. A report from The Athletic has linked Arsenal with Bologna's Riccardo Calafiori in defense and Real Sociedad's Mikel Merino in midfield, while the piece also states that Arteta would be keen on signing Williams from Athletic Bilbao if the club add a player in that position. Chelsea are also mentioned by The Athletic as possible suitors for Williams, though they are said to be aware of other interest in the Spain international, who makes sense as someone who is going to attract plenty of interest from big names after his terrific form in La Liga last season and at Euro 2024 this summer. Writing in his exclusive daily briefing column, journalist Matteo has also commented on the Williams situation and made it clear that his understanding is that Barcelona could have the advantage in the race for the 21-year-old. Despite Arsenal's admiration for the player, it seems that staying in Spain could be key for him, according to Moreto. Arsenal tipped to complete transfer soon as they negotiate final fee, according to expert. Arsenal are being tipped to complete the transfer of Bologna defender Riccardo Calafiori soon, as Gunners writer and expert Charles Watts provides an update on the saga. Speaking exclusively to CaughtOffside for his latest daily briefing column, Watts explained that Arsenal are hopeful of completing a deal for Calafiori soon, with the North London Giants now negotiating the final fee with the Serie A outfit. Calafiori looks a hugely impressive and versatile young defender who will make a great fit for Mikel Arteta's style of play, and Arsenal fans will no doubt be thrilled to hear that Watts believes the club are optimistic about getting this over the line before too long. He said the following: Arsenal's attempts to sign Riccardo Calafiori are continuing, and they hope to strike a deal with Bologna. At the time of writing this column, that has yet to happen, but the hope and expectation is that it could happen soon. Talks are ongoing between the clubs over the final fee and how the deal will be structured. Calafiori is Arsenal's priority when it comes to strengthening their defensive options, and so they will push to reach an agreement but you can never be sure until everything is signed and finalized. It's certainly an interesting move from Arsenal. I have to admit I wasn't expecting the first significant deal of the transfer window to involve a defender. It was always an area that they were looking to strengthen, but I was expected them to strengthen in the forward areas first. But it does look like an exciting signing. I can't claim to be an expert when it comes to Calafiori. I haven't seen that much of him, but people I have spoken to who have seen lots of him are adamant he has everything needed to be an excellent capture. Chelsea, Arsenal, and Man United transfer target keen on moving to the Premier League. Chelsea, Arsenal, and Manchester United may reportedly have been handed a boost in their transfer pursuit of Borussia Dortmund winger Karim Adeyemi this summer, as he wants to move to the Premier League if he leaves his current club. The talented young German international has impressed in the Bundesliga and would be an exciting addition to English football if he were to join, with CaughtOffside told that Chelsea are preparing an offer for him, while others such as Arsenal and Man United are also keen. Florian Plettenberg has taken to X to post his own information on the Adeyemi transfer saga, saying things are still at an early and informal stage, but that some interest from Chelsea does seem to be there, while the 22-year-old would be open to a move to the Premier League. Adeyemi would surely be a superb addition to this Arsenal squad. However, with Mikel Arteta looking in need of more depth in attack, especially after Gabriel Martinelli's dip in form last season, which left the team somewhat over reliant on Bukayo Saka to provide the spark in that front three. United, meanwhile, endured a very difficult campaign, so surely need to strengthen in that area as well, and would do well to look at someone like Adeyemi as a possible replacement for flops such as Jadon Sancho and Anthony, while even Marcus Rashford's place in the team may not be safe after his poor form last term. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.